Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those who are new, I know you can benefit. So if you've been following me, you probably know that today was finally my first day with the kids at my new teaching job after quite a process of getting a job. And ironically, a district called yesterday to offer me a job closer to home. But I am very much committed to the contract that I just signed 1 week ago. And if you get out of a contract, they can suspend your license for a year. And I know that there's a lot to be given at this school and many gifts for me to receive. So I had to call that at the district and say, thanks so much. Anyway, I'm in a contract, and thank God again for providing for me. And so I had 26 sixth graders. I actually have 28, but 2 were absent. And maybe they'll come tomorrow. The day was largely successful. In terms of eating, it was perfectly successful, which I was so grateful for. Behaviorally, of course, there were some children who inevitably ended up acting out. The first couple of days are so many procedural rules and guides and things like that, that some children need more structure. And I certainly kept them busy. At the end of the day, when we reviewed on what they liked, you know, there was a variety of things. Some kids said it was awesome, and some kids said I thought I'd be scared, but I wasn't. And I liked having to public speak. I literally had them up speaking on the very first day. I require that. Some others liked doing math, and the math were just some oral, calculations for the purpose of what we were talking about. But largely it was positive. What one thing was is that this one kid had a bag of candy. I think they're called, they're chewy, sour candies. Cabbage Patch Kids. Cabbage Patch Kids? No. I can't think of it. Something about patch. Anyway, super sour candy. And instead of having just a standard serving, he had the whole bag. And he was already getting out, and I said, I'm sorry, it's not even recess. And I don't believe that it's a snack recess, but even if it was, I don't think it's candy. And he's like, oh, no, we're allowed. And okay, I'll put it away, don't take it. And I said, yeah, don't tempt me, because if I take it, you will not get it back. So anyway, he took his big bag of candy to recess. So later, I saw the assistant principal, and I said, hey, what is that rule regarding children having candy as their snack? And she was like, well, if I was a parent and I sent something, I'd expect my kid to be able to eat it. So pick your battles, because you have to let them eat what they bring. First of all, I don't even know if the parents sent it. What I do know is that this kid already has an insane challenge to even focus, and was standing for most of the day. He had to keep standing up, and I kept indicating, hon, you really need to be seated. Oh, I just can't sit, I can't sit. Well, why, pray tell, is a mother who's not at home, she's at home, she's not in the classroom for 6.5 hours like I am with this kid, content to let him eat sugar and freak out his body with chemical toys while I have to observe that for all those hours, and she's nowhere to be found? That didn't work for me. I'm gonna figure that out. That did not work for me. What I did appreciate was in the afternoon, the special ed kids brought a snack for the kids, and it was apples. They had red apples. And a bunch of the kids ate a red apple, and some of them wanted a second one. And there was even some left over, which I said they were welcome to take home. It was such a blessing, though. I love that they have those options, and I do find that when fruit is the only choice, kids readily eat it. And I love that. So I'm just in progress, right? I'm pretty happy. I'm using an affirmation right now because I do get very insecure about administration, because I was so incredibly abused, for 9 years by an administrator. And I'm always certain, the other shoe's about to drop, or I'm going to be called to the carpet for whatever. And, especially at the beginning of the year, you're dealing with a lot of different personalities and dealing with a lot of different parents who come with their own issues. And I never know how it's going to pan out in the first couple of days. So that can be nerve-wracking for me. Another thing was this one kid, I remember these are 5th graders, so they're like 11, right? They're for sure 11. There may be some 10, but mostly 11. There'll be 12 by the end of the year, probably. Anyway, so this one girl, we were doing this quiz, and kids were running around asking different questions. And one of the questions on the quiz was, what do you think when you see a salad? Or what comes to mind when you see a salad? It was such a bizarre question. And I said, oh my gosh, my mouth waters, because I eat plants. And I just eat fruit and vegetables anyway. So my mouth waters. That's what I'm thinking. And then this girl said something else, and some other kid said something. And next thing we know, it was on milk products and meat. And I was saying, you know, I understand that kids are going to continue to eat chicken nuggets and, you know, and even drink cow's milk. But it's not designed for humans, and you can certainly consider it plant-based. And so this one kid goes, oh man, is that like PETA or something? Are you talking PETA? And I was like, PETA? And I had to think for a second, because yeah, I know PETA, but I'm not a member and I'm not like really into it. So, excuse me, I said, oh yeah, PETA, yeah, of course, they support animals and stuff. Don't lay that head trip on us. You're laying a head trip on us. You're trying to make us feel guilty for nothing. The kid's 11. I don't know whose talk this was, but there's no way it was coming out of his mouth. And so I was like, I was simply clarifying why I choose to eat plants, because I absolutely love them, and in my desire to care for the planet, I don't participate in them. Oh man, you're just putting your head trip on us. You're trying to make us feel guilty. I changed that conversation as fast as I could. I was not going to have that little kid go home and say that teacher was talking about being vegan and making us have to, you know, not have milk and, oh my gosh. I hope I dodged a bullet, because that got ugly fast. Anyway, we'll see how it plays. Okay, so I'm tired. I'm happy to be doing all that I'm called to do, but it's already 11:30 again, and of course I'm getting up at 5 so I can get to school, you know, before 7 o'clock and work on my room, and I'll be doing it again tomorrow. So, I'm okay and I'm totally blessed. God is good. But I wanted to go ahead and share a vegan quote with you. You might be familiar with this guy. He's pretty popular. He's from Detroit, Michigan, and his name is Gary Yourofsky, probably. Gary Yourofsky. It's Yourofsky. It's not Ofsky, because it's only of. Yourofsky. Anyway, he is from Detroit, Michigan. He's done amazing things for veganism. He's a total activist. He claims or is given credit for turning 8% of Israel vegan by equating veganism to the Holocaust, which I so get, because that's all I see with the poor animals in those large killing trailers that they're, you know, transported in. I just see the Jews all in those trains, and I come from Russian Jews, so I just so get it. But anyway, he has a bunch of quotes under vegan quotes, and one of them, which of course I will post as the icon for this video, is one that I wanted to share. So here's what it says. I think it's really powerful. The problem is that humans have victimized animals to such a degree that they are not even considered victims. Victimized animals to such a degree that they're not even considered victims. It's become the norm. What we choose to do with certain animals has become the norm. They are not even considered at all. So forget being considered victims. They're not even considered. They're not considered at all. They are nothing. They don't count. They don't matter. They are commodities like TV sets and cell phones. We have actually turned animals into inanimate objects, sandwiches, and shoes. Gary Yourofsky. I'd like to hear how to say that. I don't know. God, how tragic is that, and how completely valid. How valid. Humans have victimized animals to the degree that they're not considered victims anymore. We have done that with groups of people. We just absolutely continue to batter and batter until it just becomes the norm. I think, people were outraged with all of the mass shootings. But now they're coming so quickly that people can't remember one from 2 days ago. Like last month, there were 3 in a row, and for some reason, they were totally discounting the first shooting that had just happened like 2 days before the other 2 shootings consecutively happened. So the first one wasn't even spoken of anymore. Crazy. Let's not get comfortable, people. Let's not get so used to something that we forget to care anymore. So these animals aren't just considered victims. In fact, they're not considered at all. They are essentially nothing. My gosh, that is so true. And it is tragic. I'm sick to my stomach that McDonald's just added chicken to their breakfast menu too, to kill even more chickens. They don't count. They don't matter. They are commodities, right? Goods to sell and exchange. They are commodities like a TV set or a cell phone. We've actually turned animals into inanimate objects, like physically transformed the heart-beating, blood-pumping body of an animal into the inanimate objects of a sandwich and shoes. The leather from shoes, alligator shoes, literal. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. It's powerful and tragic. It's so tragic. Have I been part of that? Of course I have. Am I trying to change now? Absolutely. Am I reducing my footprint and a few more animals are living as a result of it? Yes. I really do try and honor the whole planet, but that is one worth pondering. So as always, share in the comments below. Let me know what you think of that quote. It's amazing. There's so much truth in it. Where are you in your walk? I'd love to support you. So like if you like, subscribe if you haven't. And until we talk again, peace be with you and be blessed.